Welcome back to Old Charles, the channel where we explore the history, value, and fascinating stories behind coins from around the world. Today, we're diving into the history and value of the United Kingdom 10 new pence coin from 1974. Whether you're a passionate collector or just someone curious about old coins, this video will give you everything you need to know about this classic piece of British currency. The 10 new pence coin was first introduced in 1968 as part of the United Kingdom's historic move towards decimalisation. Before 1971, the British currency system was based on pounds, shillings, and pence. This made the system quite complex, as there were 240 pence in a pound. The decimalisation reform simplified things, and in 1971, the UK officially adopted a decimal system where 100 pence equaled 1 pound. The 10 new pence coin, introduced slightly earlier in 1968 to prepare people for the change, was equivalent to 2 shillings in the old system. This meant that people could still use their old 2-shilling coins as 10p pieces after decimalisation, making the transition much smoother. By 1974, the 10 new pence coin had already established itself as one of the most widely used coins in circulation. Made of cupronickel, a mixture of copper and nickel, it had a silver-like appearance and was quite large compared to today's smaller 10p coins. In fact, it weighed 11.31 grams and had a diameter of 28.5 millimeters on the obverse side. The coin featured the profile of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold McKin. This portrait was widely used during the 1960s and 1970s, showing the young queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The reverse side of the coin displayed the design of a crowned lion, which symbolized strength and royalty, designed by Christopher Ironside. This design would remain on the coin for decades, becoming one of the most iconic images in modern British coinage. Now let's get to the part that many of you are here for. The value of the 1974 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin in circulated condition, meaning the coin has been used in everyday transactions. The value of this coin is generally between 20 pence and £1. The reason is that it was minted in large quantities, so it's not particularly rare in everyday grades. However, when we look at uncirculated coins, those that have been kept in excellent condition, showing no signs of wear, the value can increase. Uncirculated 1974 10 new pence coins can sell for around £3 to £5 depending on the quality. For coins graded as brilliant uncirculated or those taken from proof sets, collectors may pay even more, sometimes reaching £10 or more if the coin is pristine. It's also worth mentioning that error coins, for example, misstrikes, off-center strikes, or coins with double edges, can fetch much higher prices at auctions. These are not common, but when they do appear, collectors are willing to pay a premium. Condition plays a huge role in determining the coin's value. Collectors use a grading system to assess coins, ranging from poor, fair, good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, to brilliant uncirculated. A poor or heavily worn 1974 10p coin is generally worth only its face value or a little above it. A fine to very fine coin, with moderate wear but still visible details, might fetch around 50 pence to £1. An extremely fine coin, with only light wear on the highest points, could be valued at £2 to £3. An uncirculated coin, showing no signs of circulation, can bring in £5 or more. A brilliant uncirculated or proof coin, often kept in a special set or protective casing, will attract collectors and could sell £4, £10, £15 or higher, especially if certified by grading companies like NGC or PCGS. Collectors also care about the coin's historical context. The 1974 10p coin is part of the first generation of decimal coins in Britain, making it more interesting for those who want a complete set of early decimal issues. Another point to remember is that in 1992, the 10p coin was reduced in size. The earlier, larger 10p coins like the 1974 version were eventually withdrawn from circulation. This makes the large-sized 10 new pence coins nostalgic and collectible, as they're no longer used in everyday transactions. So, to sum up, the 1974 10 new pence coin is not extremely rare, but it holds great historical value as part of the early decimal coinage system in the UK. In circulated condition, it's usually worth between 20 pence and £1. In uncirculated or proof condition, the value can rise to £5, £15, depending on the coin's quality. Error coins or certified high-grade examples can fetch even higher prices. For coin collectors, the 1974 10p is a beautiful reminder of Britain's decimalisation era and Queen Elizabeth II's long reign. It may not make you rich, but it's a charming piece of history worth keeping in your collection. The 1974 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin is more than just a piece of metal. It represents a pivotal moment in British monetary history, a time of transformation adaptation, and modernization. To truly appreciate this coin, we need to go back to the early 20th century and trace the evolution of British currency. Before decimalization, the UK had a complex currency system that dated back centuries. The pound was divided into 20 shillings, and each shilling consisted of 12 pence, making 240 pence in a pound. This system, while historically rich, was cumbersome, especially as commerce, trade, and daily transactions grew more complex in the 20th century. Decimalization was first seriously considered in the 19th century, but it wasn't until the mid-20th century that the UK government began taking concrete steps toward reform. By the 1960s, Britain's economy had become increasingly intertwined with global trade, and the outdated currency system was a logistical challenge. Prices, accounting, and even school arithmetic were more complicated than necessary. The idea of decimalization gained momentum as a practical solution to simplify everyday financial life. The Decimal Currency Act of 1969 formally set the stage for a revolutionary change. This act defined the structure of the new decimal system, 100 new pence in a pound, replacing the old system of 240 pence. The government wanted a smooth transition, so a series of new pence coins were gradually introduced before the official decimalization date in February 1971. The 10 new pence coin was first minted in 1968 as part of this preparatory phase. The coin was designed to replace the old 2-shilling coin, which had been a familiar part of British life for generations. By equating 10 new pence to 2 shillings, the authorities ensured that the public could adjust without losing a sense of continuity, a clever approach to minimize confusion. The 1974 coin was minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who had ascended the throne in 1952. Her image on coins had evolved over time, reflecting her youth, grace, and royal dignity. The Arnold Machin portrait featured on the 1974 10p coin shows a young queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This design was notable for its elegance and realism, and it would remain on UK coins for over a decade. On a reverse, the coin features the crowned lion rampant, a symbol of England's strength, courage, and monarchy. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the lion was part of a series of reverse designs for the new decimal coins. Each coin's reverse design was carefully chosen to reflect British heritage, history, and symbolism. The lion in particular had historical roots in English heraldry, appearing on royal coats of arms and medieval banners for centuries. The 1974 10p coin was also part of a broader effort to standardize coin sizes and compositions. Made from cupronickel, it had a silvery appearance and a substantial feel, weighing 11.31 grams with a diameter of 28.5 mm. Its large size compared to modern 10p coins reflected the tradition of giving higher-value coins a more substantial presence, both physically and visually. Economically, the 1970s were a period of change in the UK. Inflation was rising, and the country was grappling with the challenges of modernizing its economy. The new decimal coins, including the 10p, became not just tools for trade but symbols of a nation modernizing its financial system. Families, businesses, and schools all adapted to using these new coins, making them an integral part of daily life. The 1974 10 new pence coin also carries a nostalgic element for collectors today. In 1992, the UK reduced the size of the 10p coin to make it lighter and more convenient for circulation. This means that the large 1974 coins, which were in use for nearly 2 decades, are now a tangible reminder of a bygone era of British coinage. Collectors often prize them not just for their metal content, but for the story they tell, a story of tradition meeting modernity, of a nation moving confidently into the decimal age. Finally, the 1974 coin was minted in millions of pieces, making it widely available, but also historically significant as part of the first generation of decimal coins. Each coin carries with it echoes of Britain's economic, cultural, and political life in the early 1970s, from the changing face of the monarchy to the public's adjustment to decimal money. In this sense, the 10p coin is more than currency. It's a miniature artifact of history, connecting us to the lives and times of those who used it every day. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. 2 coins minted in the same year can have dramatically different values depending on how well they've survived the decades. The 1974 United Kingdom 10 new pence coin is no exception, and understanding its condition is key for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike. Coin is considered circulated if it has been used in everyday transactions. Circulated coins show signs of wear, and the amount of wear determines the grading. These coins have heavy wear, with most details flattened. On the 1974 10p, the lion on the reverse may be worn down, the crown less distinct, and the Queen's tiara may show minimal detail. The edges might be smooth in some spots, and scratches or nicks are common. These coins are generally worth only a little above face value, typically 20p, 50p***, depending on the collector's interest. Coins in this category show moderate wear, but the main design elements are still clearly visible. The lion's facial features might be slightly worn, and the mane less pronounced, but the overall design remains identifiable. The Queen's portrait still has a good outline of her facial features. These coins usually sell for 50p £1, depending on market demand, and extremely fine condition. The coin has only slight wear on the highest points, such as the tips of the lion's mane or the Queen's tiara. Almost all design details are sharp and easily recognizable. EF coins are more desirable and often fetch £2 to £3 in the current market. An uncirculated coin has never been used in transactions and retains its original mint luster. These coins are highly sought after by collectors because they represent the coin as it appeared when first struck. The coin shows no wear from circulation. All details on the lion, crown, and Queen's portrait are sharp and well defined. The coin's surface may have minor contact marks from handling or storage, but overall, it retains its brilliance. A 1974 10p in UNC condition is typically worth £3 to £5. Brilliant uncirculated coins are pristine, with full mint luster and almost no imperfections. They are usually stored in protective holders, such as coin albums or capsules. These coins can command £5, £10, and occasionally more if certified by a professional grading service like NGC or PCGS. Though the 1974 10 new pence wasn't commonly issued as a separate proof, special proof sets were produced for collectors, struck with extra care, often multiple times, to ensure a mirror-like finish and sharp details. The backgrounds are highly polished, and the design stands out in sharp relief. Proof examples are rare and can be worth £10, £20 or more, especially if kept in original packaging. Everyday circulation causes abrasion and loss of detail. Coins kept in drawers, jars, or wallets tend to have scratches, worn edges, or faded design elements. Exposure to moisture, chemicals, or extreme temperatures can cause corrosion, tarnish, or discoloration. Cupronickel coins like the 1974 10p are relatively resistant but can develop spotting over decades. Cleaning coins, even with the best intentions, often reduces their value. Abrasive cleaning removes the natural patina and can scratch the surface, making the coin less desirable to collectors. Proper storage preserves condition. Coins kept in albums, capsules, or coin flips avoid physical damage and environmental exposure. Original packaging from proof sets adds value and credibility. Collectors often rely on professional grading to assess value accurately. Grading ranges from poor, P, to brilliant uncirculated, BU, with intermediate grades like fine, very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, and uncirculated. The higher the grade, the more desirable the coin. Why? Understanding condition in such detail, collectors can make informed decisions when buying, selling, or valuing a 1974 10 new pence coin. Remember, condition is often just as important if not more so than rarity in determining a coin's value. Even a common coin in excellent condition can attract serious attention from collectors.